So today we'll be discussing skirts. We'll be drafting the basic skirt block. The skirt block is the easiest pattern to draft. The very easiest pattern to draft. So all the measurements that you require to draft the sleeve block are: you need your hip measurement, your waist measurement, your skirt length. Most of the time when you're starting to draft, you use waist to knee. Your waist to knee measurement and your waist to hip measurement. The waist to hip measurement is always between 20.9 and 22 centimeters, but it can go further down depending on whether you have a low waist or not. So it's best to take proper measurements of your waist to hip. So for those that have the low waist, their own might go all the way to sometimes 25 centimeters from the waist, but I advise that you take the measurements. So you divide your waist by your hip measurement by 2. So my own hip measurement is 102 centimeters. So when I divide it by 2, that will be 51 centimeters, and then I add ease. So I'm going to add 1 cm ease, 1 centimeter ease, so that once I'm done, around my hip area I'm going to have a total of 2 centimeter ease around my hip. So I have 52 centimeters. So what I do first of all is that I draw like the box within which I'm going to draft. So I'll take 2 inches on this side, 5 centimeters from the top and 5 centimeters from the bottom of my paper. And draw my lines. Then I measure the length of my skirt, the length I want my skirt to be. My own length is 56, my waist to knee is 56 centimeters, so I measure 56 centimeters. I mark 56 centimeters here. 56 centimeters. And then I draw my hemline. The next thing I do is to find my waist to hip measurement. My waist to hip measurement now here is 21 centimeters. So I'm going to mark 21 centimeters from the top and square across. I square across my 21 centimeters. Then on the hip line, because now this is my hip line, on my hip line, this is my hip line, this will be my waistline, and this is my hem line. Right, so on my hip line, I measure my half hip measurement plus ease. So I measure 52 centimeters on my hip line. So I'm going to mark 52 centimeters there. And square up and down. So now I have my box within which I'm going to do my construction. So on the hip line also, we're going to divide this box into 2 equal parts. So what I do is this, to find my center, although I can just do 52 divided by 2 and I get my center. So that will be 26. So I measure 26, divide this line, measure 26. I do this so that my line will be straight. Just measure the same thing up and down so that I can get a straight line. Where I extend this line 1.5 centimeters above the waistline. Extend 1.5 centimeters above the waistline. There. Then I connect that point to both ways. Here is my center front. Here is my center back. Right, so now we're going to attend to the waist. My waist measurement is 79 centimeters, so half of my waist measurement is 39.5 cm. So the point here right now is to distribute the excess from the hip to get my waist measurement along the waistline. So what we're going to do first of all is to take 2/3 of the difference as my side seam. Then the remaining one, we're going to share it between the back and the front. So the difference between my hip here, my hip measurement here is 52 centimeters. And the measurement here, the length here is 52 centimeters. My waist measurement, my natural waist measurement is 39.5 centimeters. So here I have a difference of 12.5 centimeters. Right? So I find the 2/3 of 12.5 centimeters. I can round it out to 12 so that I can have that 0.5 as a little ease. So what's 2/3 of 12 is 8 centimeters. So I'm going to share, and then we have 8 centimeters and 4 centimeters. So we're going to share 8 centimeters on the side seam, meaning that I'll take 4 centimeters here and 4 centimeters on the other side of the side seam. So I mark 4 centimeters here. I mark 4 centimeters here, and I connect each of them to the hip line. So we have 4 centimeters more to share. So I share 2 centimeters to the front and 2 centimeters to the back as darts. So what you do is to find the center of your remaining waistline. You can do your calculations either in centimeters or in inches, it doesn't matter. But I find centimeters to be easier to calculate. So now you share your 2 centimeters dart on either side of the center. So here I square a line using that slant. 9 centimeters. My front dart is 9 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide. My back dart is 12 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide. So here we have to note something. If your difference is more than, if after you find your 2/3, if the one you're supposed to share to your dart is more than 5 centimeters, it's advisable that you create 2 darts at the back. You shear it to 2 dots at the back. So if the difference between your waist and your hip is more than 10 centimeters, no, it's more than 12 centimeters actually, you might need to have 2 dots behind so that it can balance out your skirt. So here I have 12. And because your side seam is not just a straight line, you find the center of this line. I have 23 here, so that's 11.5. And then you bring it out by 0.5 centimeters. You curve it out by 0.5 centimeters. Get your hip curve. And curve out your line. And then smoothing the waist curve. Smoothing out your waist curve. And your basic block is done. So now I have my block all faced out. This is my back. You can see my back. And this is my front. And they match perfectly. So we're going to, for this basic class, we're going to also talk about creating an A-line skirt, a flared skirt, a yoked skirt, and a paneled skirt.